I write this reflecting on the previous couple of days. We had a storm, you see, here in the UK. Storm Eowyn. It isn't the first storm we have ever had, nor is it the first time we have been left without resources. But this one brought with a whole lot of reflection. I can't explain why this one felt different. Maybe it's because I'm more aware of cosmological changes and the influences astrology is having on our planet and human consciousness. The shifts taking place that we cannot see, only feel, leaving a sense of uneasiness and fear. Maybe it's because more than ever we are exposed to world disasters, our attention forever being honed in on catastrophe after catastrophe. Or rather, I am more aware. I'm paying more attention. Tension is rising with the people. I can feel it. Whether you are of a conspiracy mindset or just observing the changes, people can feel a shift. Today, the sun shines bright and the sky is clear. It's cold. If there was no reminder of high winds yesterday, it would be easy to forget. My shed, or what was once my shed, is my biggest reminder. Cheap crap that actually wasn't so cheap, pulled apart by the fury of air. A tree split in two in the fields across from me, trees uprooted, severed from the earth that nourished and sustained them for countless years. It was clear my horses were sore. I wondered how much fleeing from flying debris and falling trees they had done the previous day. I'm without electricity. I bought a generator in preparation for such eventualities. Some rabbit holes do serve us. It's in the shed. I am unable to get it, for if I open the door, with only rope holding the structure together, the whole thing would have collapsed. So I didn't bother. There was, however, humour to be found in the stark realisation that we are no match against nature. I grabbed part of the roof that had blown off. My neighbour, who had come to help this damsel in distress, laughed as the plastic lifted in the wind, dragging me across the garden. There was no contest. I dropped the roof, laughing with him, making sure it wouldn't be able to be blown away into the fields of yonder, doing my bit to make sure the neighbouring sheep couldn't be hurt. These are moments you wish the camera was rolling, but these are moments filming are the last thing on your mind. It took me back to a memory in my 20s, sat on a bus laughing really hard at a woman grappling with an umbrella as it kept turning inside out. I was on my own. The lunatic is in my head. At least, that's likely what any onlooker unaware of what I was experiencing would have thought. Another memory surfaced, one which was only told to me, but one I had wished I had witnessed. My ex, standing at 6'4", was blown over on the beach in winds gusting 100 miles an hour last year. I laughed so hard when he told me this. Do you feel the gods are laughing at us whilst they play with our fragility? To preserve my car from the potential of another piece of shed blowing off and hitting it, I moved it, bumping into another neighbour, frustrated by the fact his moped had been blown over and the windshield broken. 200 quid that's gonna cost. I told him about my shed, but he was too preoccupied with us having to replace the glass and how much it was going to cost to consider my misfortune. I didn't mind though. I understood we are all consumed with our own problems. It's the way society is these days. I managed to get all done on my computer before the battery died. Bored, I went out to get some food. I couldn't cook anything. Made me realise all the long life food I bought a few years back when I was in prep mode was rendered useless if there was no resources to cook with. I have since been given a lighter to light my gas hob for the next time. You don't know what you don't know, eh? I passed a truck on the motorway that had been blown over. This brought a sadness over me. On the way home I passed two more. Whether it was their decision or their managers to carry on with the delivery, it was a decision I imagine they wished they had not made. Was this part of their path? Their astrological blueprint? It's a question I ask myself often these days. It had been the perfect opportunity to do the 36-hour fast I'd been gearing up for. Instead, I chose food to stave off the boredom facing me as darkness closed in. I'll do it on Sunday, I promise. With only the light from my log burner, Another decision made when in prep mode, grateful for warmth at least. Battery-powered candles and the glare from my phone, I settled into the evening and I pondered on quiet. How we humans struggle with quiet. My neighbours had gone out, unable to stay within the quiet confines of their own minds and each other's. I put an alive on YouTube. My phone had enough life left that I was able to respond to messages left by new subscribers. New subscribers who found me because of Rock Wilk, a filmmaker, screenwriter and playwright, had found value in one of my videos about AI. This was very encouraging for me. To have someone in the business mention my work was of great value. We all want to be appreciated, right? Thank you to those who have subscribed. I want this. I was taken back to my youth, a time when I studied art, short story writing and media at university. My frivolity at the time and lack of direction ended by me leaving my portfolio of work under the bed in my student dorms. How I would have done things different knowing what I know in my older, wiser years. But the technology was offering me another chance. YouTube was giving me the chance to shine. We are all stars. As the battery on my phone drew to a close, I went to bed, knowing that I could charge the device in my car tomorrow, grateful for the technology. No electric blanket. I climbed under 2 duvets with a dressing gown and thick winter socks, wishing I hadn't left my woolly hat in the car. I fell asleep quickly. In this instance, having no technology had been a blessing, as I had developed the bad habit of taking my computer to bed. I woke unusually refreshed to my YouTube coach. Yes, I have a coach. I want this. I no longer train horses or dance the night away with friends, so another passion is needed. Something to give me creative purpose, for we all want purpose. We are all stars. The storytelling has become my muse. I realised creative flow is in my blood as memories began to resurface of a child who yearned to be an actor, a dancer, a director, a story writer. Pipe dreams were the words ushered by my parents. I didn't blame them. I understand they are products of their own conditioning and trauma and rooted in reality. They only wanted the best for me. I remain the dreamer. I was supported by them in my amateur dramatics phase. Guys and Dolls, South Pacific. Creative flair was more encouraged by my step-parents. My flamboyant nature was supported by Jay, having me act out monologues in the living room. He found me entertaining. My stepmom buying the stage newspaper, everyone's go-to for the opportunity to be seen by someone in the biz. Fun fact, I actually auditioned for a girl group around the age of 18. I believe they are now known as the Spice Girls. Truth be told, singing is not my strongest point, but I was never a bad dancer. I also auditioned for the acclaimed film Raining Stones, a gritty English movie, and the not-so-acclaimed soap opera El Dorado, a not-so-gritty English flop. That certainly would have damaged my acting career. It's all coming back to me now, a desire to work in the creative arts. At the point of writing the first rendition of this work, I am forced to adopt old school, pen and paper. I will be lucky if I can read this later as I copy it onto Medium, the medium where my writing is published. I could allow myself to feel frustrated by the fact having no electricity has doubled my work, but instead I feel gratitude for the eventualities that have enabled me to write this story. I understand many will have not been in gratitude having turned into the news. I'm sorry for those who bared the brunt of this storm. Aside from having found inspiration from inconvenience and gratitude for only having experienced inconvenience, I realised how reliant we have become on technology, how it has made life easier and more comfortable, how we crave overstimulation, but those of us who may have not had opportunity to shine otherwise has been granted the opportunity by this ease technology brings. Technology can indeed enhance our lives and make it easier, but as always, balance is key. Oh look, the computer is back on. My life can now resume.